welcome back to a brand new live stream. As you guys know, I was just live earlier. I'm gonna hit you guys with a double feature, um, a double live stream today. Cause why not? I don't got nothing going on either way, so I'm like, screw it. Um, let's get the ball rolling, man. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing a double feature live stream today. So yeah, pretty cool. So yeah, like I said, I really don't got much going on today, man. I'm just chilling at the house. So that's the reason I'm coming at you guys. I'm giving you guys another live stream. Like I said, double live stream today. We actually first time I've done this, if I'm not mistaken. Um, you know, where I go live 2 times a day. So yeah, as you guys know, we've been getting for the past week or so, we've been getting quite a few different news. Um, and of course we're gonna be talking about the big ones today. Um, the big news that hit today. Um, but yeah, so as you guys know earlier, I did give you guys my opinion on the Omen trailer, and yeah, so it's been announced today. It's officially. I made sure I put that in the title. Nev Campbell officially is returning for Scream 7, man. So yeah, I mean, um, those were like the big news that broke today. Everyone's really excited about it. And so am I. I'm still definitely looking forward. Um, to Scream 7, the next Scream movie. I know stuff didn't really pan out as they imagined it, as they figured. I know a lot of shit did go down behind the scenes, or I wouldn't say behind the scenes, but behind the new Scream franchise. If you ask me, man, I think they're doing a pretty solid job over there. Um, and that's one thing I will say that's been lacking with a lot of these franchises these days. But surprisingly, dude, Scream is doing a good job, man. Doing a solid job. So I always salute Spyglass Media. Um, I believe that's the studio behind the new Scream movie. I salute them because they're doing a solid job over there. And like I said, man, I know a lot of stuff didn't really come out. A lot of stuff went downhill, you could say, after Scream 6. And unfortunately, we're not getting the Scream 7 that was originally intended to be. And like I said, man, we at this point we don't really know much. And like I said, I know a lot of stuff been floating in the air on different stuff. So the news today, pretty much what I'm trying to get to is the news today um about Nev Campbell returning. If you ask me, man, I think that was it was a done deal already. It was the obvious choice. It was the obvious direction to go to with this next upcoming Scream movie. Because if you really think about it, man, as we know, Melissa Barrera, Jenna Ortega exited the Scream 7, so they weren't gonna just let that be. You know what I mean? And of course, and it's funny, man, because it kind of goes back to Scream 6 as well. Um, like I feel personally, Nev Campbell was the only choice they got. For them to feel, for them to at least make them feel that this new Scream movie will satisfy us fans. You know what I mean? And it will. I mean, of course, there's gonna be Sydney, of course, iconic final girl. A lot of people's favorite final girl, and yeah, she's for sure iconic. She's definitely up there, like Scream Queen status and stuff like that, like the face of final girls and stuff like that. Very much so, very much so. I know to some people, the whole, when it got to the new Scream movies, people didn't really want to see Sydney come back, and I was kind of 50-50 with it. Like I said, I do feel that kind of the same situation with the Laurie Strode character. in Halloween. I feel like they should eventually move on. And but I think the Scream for in Sydney's case, um, I don't think it was as played out as Laurie was in Halloween, but still, it's always better, man, for them to move on and do something different. And they kind of did with Scream 6, of course, or the new Scream movies. You know, they had the legacy characters, of course. Courtney Cox, Neve Campbell. They returned for the new Scream movies, not as main characters, but of course they were like backup characters, which I liked. I like the direction. Like I said, I don't think it was necessary. To me, I still don't think Neve Campbell. I don't think she was needed in Scream 6. I think Scream 6 did good. It hold its own weight, if you ask me. Um, and with this next movie, you know, I'm not sure if she was even gonna return if Melissa and Jenna were in it. But like I said, since they exited the project, the obvious choice was Neve Campbell, dude. And like I said, that was the main, like I said, the main obvious answer, the obvious choice. Soon as we heard about the whole Melissa thing, and Jenna Ortega thing, like of course, they have to, I think they're gonna make Sydney the main character again, finish it off well. If that's the direction they're going, if they're trying to treat the seventh film like a ending to a trilogy, then yeah, I mean it's whatever. Like they could probably, of course, use Sydney as the main character in Scream 7 to kind of end things right, and also other than Neve Campbell returning to Scream 7, I believe Kevin, what's his name? Kevin Williamson, Kevin Williams, something. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. He is also returning. He is on board for this new Scream 7 movie. You guys could correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he was involved. I believe I'm not sure if he directed or wrote some of the other films. Like I think he was, I think he wrote the original, if I'm not mistaken. You guys could correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, he is back on board with this new Scream movie, which to me, the whole Neve Campbell returning wasn't as surprising. Like I said, it was the obvious answer, but to a lot of people, Kevin returning to write, or I think he's directing this new one. That kind of surprised people more, but yeah, yo, Brandon, Gothic horror lover, what up, man? What's up? Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys tuning in, man. Like I said, I'm doing a double feature today. Earlier, I know you guys weren't trying to hear about the whole Omen. Like who wants to hear about the whole prequel, right? But yeah, I decided, like I said, I never do double feature live streams, so I appreciate you guys, man, rocking with me today. But hope you guys are having a good Tuesday, man. Uh, I'm glad that Neve is back. Let's make this franchise this new trilogy. They don't need a part. I agree. I very much agree. So Brandon, I think, like I said, I hope they do actually go that direction. Treat the seventh film like an end to this trilogy. Like I said, it might feel, the consistency might not be there. It might not feel like coming into Scream 7. It might feel like a brand new thing, but still, I feel like even though it's new people behind it, I feel it's a whole new thing. Like I said, it might it's not really a reboot. I feel like it's they're just going a different story, but it's not really a reboot. It's still the same thing. Of course, we got the legacy characters in here, so yeah, and they're gonna they're gonna be on board for this seventh film. And like I said, I think this is the a perfect opportunity, the perfect chance to have Sydney as a main character again, Gail Weathers as a main character, and kind of end this trilogy, end their storyline, and call it a wrap. And then whatever they do after that, whatever. But yeah, I do agree though. I think the Scream 7 film should wrap things up. Oops, apologize, guys. Yo, Chippy, what's up, man? Scream ends. Hey, you know what, Chippy? It could, it might end up like that, and I wouldn't be surprised if it does. Um, because yeah, if you really think about it, man, it's no matter who's in the movie, no matter who, it kind of is, it could kind of go that direction, man. Um, I mean, I really hope they learn from Halloween Ends and they do a better job in doing an ending movie. You know what I mean? I hope they don't continue the same mistakes Blumhouse did with their ending to Halloween. I hope they really know what they're doing, man, and really study the craft and they studied those first two films. I'm talking about 5 and 6. Study them so they could feel you could say in the same pace, the same momentum. I know we have a new director on board, um, which is one thing that a lot had a lot of people worried too. Um, the original the filmmakers for the previous ones are not returning, so that could be a sign. Yeah, Williamson. Yeah, exactly. Kevin Williamson. He is returning. Like I said, I think he's directing this new one. He wrote the first two films and Scream 4. There you go. There you have it. So Kevin is for sure. Kevin Williamson is for sure. Um, like I said, it kind of gives us, you could say, that hope. You know what I mean? Like I said, he's dealt with this. It's not like we got a new, you know, a new person on board who has no experience with this kind these kinds of movies. Like, you know, like I believe the director, the previous director, they were gonna have I believe it was like his first time doing like a horror movie. He comes from like directing comedy. So when that's the case, it doesn't really work. But when you got someone, like I said, someone experienced as Kevin Williamson, I mean, we sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. And like I said, it kind of, you could say, made things more. It could make things it could make things a little bit more clear, to make things a little bit more on board, at least. And I will say, I'm gonna say it now. I personally feel this Scream 7 will probably be, and it's funny because there's really a familiar pattern. I feel this Scream 7 will eventually, I think it's gonna be the Scream 3 of the new Scream movies, if you ask me. Meaning, I feel it will be the you could say the weaker one. Who knows, man? We gotta wait and see what really goes down. But I will say with 5 and 6, there was a very much familiar pattern with the first two movies, and maybe the original version of Scream 7 they intended, with Melissa and stuff like that. The continuation after part 6. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they already had it planned out that it was kind of gonna reflect and mimic part 3. But yeah, I mean, like I said, man, they proved to us, with these two films, that it could still be done. It could still be done. But this seventh film is a whole other thing. Got rewritten during filming by an uncredited. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, and of course, throughout the franchise, we have different writers come in, and I know a lot of people don't get credited too. It's usually the heavyweights. Like like Kevin Williamson, he's a very well known name. They eventually end up getting the credit, which is unfortunate, but like I said, I think it's still a good thing that we got one of those early visionary to these franchise back on board. Like I said, it could mean nothing. To some people could mean nothing, but to some people it could give us some hope. To me, like I said, the whole Neve Campbell thing, that's, kind of already was expecting for her to return. And then the whole Kevin thing, I mean, I mean, it's good. It's a good sign. I don't understand why the writers of 5 and 6 are still going to write 7. Is that right, Chippy? So hold on. I don't understand why the writers of so the writers they're still behind Scream 7 as well. For the writers for the previous two. Is that correct? Yeah. All I know is that the whole director they changed directors. Um, but yeah, but I guess writers. I guess they have the same writers on board. I take that they're rewriting from their initial drafts from months back before the controversy. Yeah, it could be. It could be that too as well. You know. Yeah. Their whole code and stuff like that. On the real Halloween. Sorry, man. Oh yeah, for sure, Brandon. I do agree. Yeah, yeah. The Blumhouse movies, yeah, definitely went downhill. And like I said, I really hope this Scream 7 doesn't um, end up like Halloween ends. Like I said, um, like I said, I just hope they learn from Blumhouse's mistakes. You know what I mean? Try, situation. Yeah, that's very true, Brandon. Yeah, slasher movies and I feel that's gonna be the case with Scream 7. Of course, we're gonna have new characters on board, and like you said, slasher movies like Scream fun movies don't really need necessary like they don't necessarily need you know really well developed characters. Of course, in many slashers we grow out to love certain characters and stuff like that, but it still doesn't like I feel like when a slasher movie the presence is what matters most. um so yeah, no matter what they do, no matter who they have on board, like I said, they kind of I'm not gonna really consider it a reboot, because I think like I said, it's gonna take place in the same timeline, in the same thing, but of course just the whole something different, a different storyline. Of course, the obvious choice, like I said, was Sydney. I believe, God, and I forget his name, but I think his name in the his character Mark, who was in Scream 3. Um, you know, Sydney they eventually ended up getting married, had kids. In Scream 5, I believe. So, Sydney did mention, Mark, and yeah, they ended up happily ever after or whatever. So Scream 7 is gonna focus Neve Campbell and her family, Mark, the husband from Scream 3, and then the kids. And I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Neve. I'm pretty sure if it's gonna focus on Neve, we might have her kids up in here. So this final movie, this Scream 7, might be more of a personal game for Sydney Prescott, man. So I really hope, man, Neve Campbell, like, despite the fact, it's still great knowing she's coming back to the franchise to kick some ass, dude. And because that's what she's been doing since since Scream 5, kicking ass. And I really hope, like I said, Scream 7 really does wrap things up pretty good, and she knocks it out of the ballpark. You know what I mean? Yo, Johnny, I'm excited. Oh hell yeah, for sure, man. We're all excited. We're definitely all we're happy for Neve Campbell. I feel like she deserves at least one entry, one last entry or whatever. Who knows? They Like I said, they might try to continue after the seventh film. Spawn another string load of movies. But I personally feel they should just wrap things up. And for them to not get too ahead of themselves. Like I said, great example. Halloween ends. I hope they learn from Blumhouse, man, and really, like I said, don't get ahead of themselves. For at least for a final film in a trilogy, end things right, and they shouldn't have a worry. Because despite whatever they do, uh, uh, um, fans are either gonna love it or hate it. Look at 5 and 6. I know people that really like those films, and I know people that hate them. So it's not always gonna be satisfied. It's always not gonna satisfy everyone, but at least keep us entertained, happy. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Like I said, some people don't are not liking the fact they feel Sydney should have been done with. But like I said, man, I think she deserves one final entry, man. For sure, dude. Yeah, Nev Campbell should be finished already. Yeah, you know what, Chippy, and I like I said, I think with this last film, um, it should definitely wrap things up for her because, like I said, I don't want it to get to a point like a Jamie Lee Curtis. Like I said, the Laurie character was played out, and like I said, to some people, the Sidney Prescott character is played out, but I feel, you know, it still hasn't gotten to that Jamie Lee Curtis stage. But hey, man, it is what it is. Detective Mark Kincaid, yeah, Mark Kincaid, yeah, for sure, man. He's definitely. I mean, it's cool. Like I said, we have people who who've been in the Scream franchise, so it's something to look forward to, I guess. I'm glad she's back, but man, they need to make this the final. Yeah, I do agree, man. Yes, and like I said, Nev Campbell, I mean, she's done other projects in the past, but of course, she's always gonna be tied in with the horror genre. Her iconic performance as Sidney Prescott. It's always gonna be there. So that just by that fact, it could kind of outshine, her other projects, her other movie roles. And like I said, as the actress, she's badass, dude. I love Nev Campbell. I know a couple years back she was in the movie with The Rock. So it really you know I would love for her to just call it a wrap, call it an end. Maybe for her to move on. Like I said, sometimes for these actresses, it could be kind of difficult to move on with their careers, other projects because they're so outshined by the horror genre that it's kind of difficult and hard for them to move on to other projects. And it's kind of like it goes back to the whole what's it called typecast that. But yeah, dude, I do agree. I do agree. Like I said, they should have been done with their character. If you ask me, like I think Scream 5 should have been like if they never would have, like Scream 5 was a good ending. If they never mentioned her or nothing, that's a good wrap. But like I said, this Scream 7 movie, the ending could just make things more complicated. It could just no matter if if they know what they're doing, they'll have it all under control and under they'll have something smooth. But if they're gonna explore here and there, do all this in the final movie of a trilogy of a storyline, it's just gonna be a mess, dude. And I just feel it should we're gonna feel if that's the case, we're gonna feel 5 and 6 should have just been a double feature, should have just been two films and call it a day, call it a night. So yeah, like I said, at the same time, it's a good thing, but at the same time, it still kind of worries us where things could escalate. But I don't know, dude. That's just what I think. But they don't need to. Brandon, that'll be a great thing. Like I said, if they do that, I wouldn't be surprised. Um, because like I said, if you really pay attention, if you notice these new Scream movies, they really mimic the original movies. So yeah, I really hope like that's one thing about Scream. Like for example, Scream 6. I didn't really like I know I have issues with that movie. One of them being, it was like three killers, dude, and I wasn't the biggest fan of that. But like I said, dude, if I think a great way to end it is have one killer, one mastermind, like you said, and call it a wrap. And I think that would really at least have this last Ghostface killer, have him be let it be the mastermind of, you could say, the previous movies. All this madness that went on. I just think that's how they should end it. You know what I mean? You know, yeah, but yeah, I very much agree. Yeah, but that's one thing too, man. I feel with the Scream franchise, that's why I feel Scream 3 is really underrated. And like I said, it's the weaker one, but it's not a terrible movie. Like I'm always rewatching Scream 3. Honestly, I think I rewatched Scream 3 more than Scream 2. And I think one of the main like I said, it's an underrated sequel, Scream 3. But one of the main standouts to me, Scream 3, is that it was one killer. It was what was his name? God, I can't believe I'm blanking out on his name. Mickey? Is it that, or is Mickey from Scream 2? Uh, Roman. Roman Bridger. I be blanking out, dude. I be blanking out. but but yeah, like that's what stands out, dude. It was this one dude, to a lot of people that would have been a perfect ending. You know what I mean? Um, it would have been a perfect ending, but of course, years later, they did Scream 4, which to a lot of people kind of ruined things. But I grew up with Scream 4. I really do like it. But yeah, man, very much, very much. Infinity Dragon, yo, what's up, man? Hope you're doing good, Infinity Dragon. Oh yeah, Brandon. I remember watching 2018 for the first time in the theaters and being disappointed by the ending, dude. I was disappointed. I mean, I know Kills picks up right after, um, but I was disappointed. I remember being disappointed. What kind of ending is this? That's awesome, man. Yeah, that's awesome. That'll be awesome. That's a great thing to own a autograph. Do you think a Scream movie reboot would work? Honestly, man, I feel at this point, like I said, we're two movies deep. Um, Unfortunately, they can't continue with that story due to Melissa and Jenna Ortega's situation. But I don't think a reboot is needed at this time. Um, because I think it would just if this seventh film was a reboot, I just think it will mess things up. So I feel like it should just be an ending film. I don't want to say make it like Halloween Ends, but make it end it, but in a right way. Oh yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, I think Scream. I think the whole concept of Scream would be a good concept for a video game, man. Hell yeah, that'll be dope. Hey, I'm pretty sure all of us would prefer a Scream PS5 game other than another movie. If they really want to keep Ghostface alive, make a video game, dude. Come on, the whole video game stuff is bigger than ever, dude. So hell yeah, I prefer a movie game over a video game. I mean, a game over a movie. You know. Appreciate Brandon. Always appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, Roman Bridger. Roman Bridger, Scream 3 killer. For sure, man. They are going to bring Stu back. Watch. You know what, Chippy? I wouldn't I wouldn't be surprised if they do, man. I feel like they already had it all set up. Like of course, like at this point, I feel like since the main characters are not gonna be in this new one, they're gonna try their best, man. Like I said, to satisfy us fans, and I feel that's when Stu Macher, and I feel that's when Stu Macher comes into play, But yeah, and like I said, I've been saying this since day one. I have a feeling Stu Macher is the mastermind to the new Scream movies. You know what I mean? Of course, the Scream 5, it started with Richie, and of course Scream 6, his family. But what if Stu Macher was, part of that family, was the mastermind? So that's what I've been predicting this all this time. This whole time along, I've been predicting since Scream 5, Scream 6. Stu Macher is the mastermind. So like I said, man, even though things didn't pan out as they imagined it, I feel there. Yeah, I like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Stu Macher returns. Like I said, to a lot of us, he's been dead this whole time, man, and I just feel that's too gimmicky. If he really survived, the original '96 film, I just feel they're just reaching, man. And like I said, it could be, like I said, it could be that they want to satisfy us, but they're really not, man. Because, like I said, to a lot of us, Stumacher's been dead, so there's really no point, especially, in the ending of this franchise. Like I said, they might make him out to be the mastermind of these past few movies, which is kind of clever, but nah, dude. For Stumacher to show up at the end, yeah, it just wouldn't. It just wouldn't. It wouldn't. It wouldn't. I just don't think it'll work, man. Like I said, I just feel the Scream franchise would just be. I wouldn't say look that different, but it will just be too gimmicky. And like I said, um, the Scream franchise is already a gimmicky, fun slasher series. But I don't know, for someone to pretty much come back from the dead, like I feel that's too gimmicky, especially for a teenage slasher movie like Scream, you know. But yeah, man, we love Ghostface, man, But like I said, I hope the seventh movie ends things in a good note, They do not need to bring back Stu Macher on the real. People need to let the '96 remain with their great memories. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, and I very much agree, man. Because yeah, to me, that television killed Stu Macher. And like I said, I know there's been fans been trying to pick out little stuff from the movies, little theories or whatever they call it, to make Stu Macher alive. I understand he's a fan favorite, but still, man, I just think they're messing with that original movie, and I think that's what everyone's doing right now. Look at the Halloween TV series, going back to the original. Oh, well, you're just going back and, putting the fork into the original movie and, messing with it. So, yeah, I very much agree, man, because a lot of those classic movies, a lot of those scenes mean a lot to us growing up, and for them to come out with newer versions, um, it just ruins the whole thing. And like I said, to us real fans who have that personal connection to him, makes things even worse. Perfect example, the first Omen. You guys know I went live earlier reacting to the Omen. One thing that turned me off from that trailer was the scene, the scene, where the girl, she's about to hang herself, throw herself off the building, and hang herself with the rope. Like, that's one of my personal favorite scenes that always stood out to me from the original Omen. And for them to remake that scene in the new prequel, like, it's ridiculous, and it's a shame, and it's literally the second time it's being remade. That scene, that exact kill, it's being remade, because I believe they remade that damn scene in the remake too. And then we get the prequel, and it's gonna have, like, I don't know, man, but I just think that seems to be the case, man. A lot of movies, a lot of these franchises need to be left alone. Yeah, man. You know what? The whole video game, I'm not up to date with the whole video games. I know Gun has distributed a lot of the new ones, like Friday Texas Chainsaw. A lot of those have been letdowns. Like I said, I'm not too up familiar with it, but yeah, I mean those games haven't gotten nowhere, man. So I'm not sure if it's the company, but yeah, man. I mean, from what it looks like, Gun doesn't know what they're doing, man, because they keep all their games they're coming out with are going downhill. You know, I'm not sure. I know Killer Clowns just got a release date, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's Gun. I'm not sure. Could be, but yeah, Chippy. You know what? And I think, hey, man, Matthew Lillard, he's on top of his shit right now. He's been on top of the game. He's one of those top actors. Um, no matter what age, no matter what kind of movie, no matter the people are tuning in. So hey, he like I said, he was a key character to this original movie that spawned it all. And of course, they're gonna try to milk the cow, and try to make some money out of that. So like I said, man, it won't be surprising. It's a damn shame. I'll hate to see Schumacher return, but hey, man, I wouldn't be surprised, dude. Yeah, some franchises need to rest. Some of them get to the point where they're played out. I'm glad Scream hasn't got to that point. I mean, to some people it has, but like I said, the new Scream movies have been better than anything than any of the new franchises that have returned. If we're gonna keep it a buck, will Scream 5 be released in? Scream then Scream 7. I'm not sure when it's coming out. I don't think it's coming out this year. I don't even. Excuse me. I don't even know. Do we have a release date? Probably not, man. Like I said, they're in early stages from all the shit that went down. So I don't see it coming out for the next year or two. Maybe 2025, but this year I don't think so. I love the first Toby Hooper. Yeah, Texas Chainsaw is a great example, man. Those films went downhill. Yeah, 2003, 2006, I like as well. Chippy, those were pretty good, but I feel like those be earlier sequels. Like, I mean, 2 is not bad. Um, Nothing compared to that original movie. I know part 2 is more like a horror comedy. It's kind of an underrated sequel if we're gonna keep it. To be honest. Um, and then Leatherface Part 3. That didn't really care for Generation. So yeah, those movies were kind of garbage. But I feel like the remakes kind of made things a little better. But yeah, I like the two Texas Chainsaw Massacre remakes, man. I wasn't into the Platinum Doom, Solid Deaths, but an Unscary Mask. I know interesting characters. I get you. Yeah, Brandon. I know what you mean. I know the point of view. You see it as yeah, and like I said, that even the remake doesn't come close to that original movie, man. That original movie, man. It, low budget, and it's still one of the most, one of the best horror movies of all time till this day, man. And you barely saw anything. So of course, there's something unique about that '74 film. That the 2003 obviously couldn't duplicate. Um, yeah, it's a way different, and you could tell, by the remake and the original, it's a whole different time. So yeah, there's definitely differences in characters and stuff like that. Scream 3 felt like a PG-13 movie because of how light it was. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, like we mentioned, I feel Scream 3 is like the weaker one from the Scream movies, and I feel this new Scream 7 is gonna be the Scream 3 of the new Scream movies. But very much so, man. Very much so. Scream 3 was a little bit more, like, I don't know. I feel like that was it was more like it was, you could say, watered down, but it was more, yeah, felt more like a PG-13. It doesn't help that in real life. Damn, Brandon. You know what, Brandon? Those are breaking news to me. I had no idea that that happened. Actor. That's terrible, man. That's terrible. Yeah, I know Andrew, who played the actor who played Leatherface in the remakes. I think he played him in both remakes, but I did not know that, dude. That's yeah. That shame on him, man. Yeah, because I know Gunnar Hansen did pass away a couple years back, but yeah, I'm not wasn't up to date with that. That's terrible, man. Yeah, that's terrible, especially if you're coming into this role, man. Like I don't understand why he would pull some shit like that, instead of showing respect. But yeah, that's miserable, man. Like I said, pieces of shit in this world everywhere, man. We've all seen it. The Columbine affected Scream 3, but despite a bit too comedic touches, I still got nervous whenever Ghostface romance, three line characters. It was a solid ending. Yeah, very much so. Very much so. Like I said, to a lot of people, Scream 3 was a good ending to it. And of course, many years later, what was it, like 11 years later, they came out with Scream 4, which you could say to a lot of people, it should have just been a trilogy. But yeah, like I said, Scream 3 is quite rewatchable for me. Like I said, I think I've seen it more than Scream 2, and I like Scream 2, man. Scream 2 is a good sequel, but like I said, there's other sequels that I think were a little better, than Scream 2, but it's still a good sequel, man. Like I said, Scream 3 is a rewatchable one too. But yeah, the whole Columbine, situation, 99, I believe that was 99, right? Scream 3 was 2000, right? Or yeah, I think it was 2000. And yeah, so they were in production and everything. Of course, yeah, obviously that Scream 3 was in a lot of stuff, was in, a lot of stuff they intended we didn't get to see in the final cut. But still a solid movie. It's not a bad movie. It's not a terrible movie like a lot of people make it out to be. Like I said, Roman Bridger, one of my favorite. I know a lot of people. The main obvious choice when it comes to favorite killers, Stu Macher, Billy Loomis. Hey man, Roman Bridger's up there for me. You know what I mean? For sure. Do you think Scream 7 is the final movie with Stu and Sidney? Chris Schober, I hope so, man. I really hope so. It is, and even if they bring Stu back, yeah, they should end with that original timeline, man. And they should just move on to something new. That's the best thing they should do instead of going back to the original movie, man. But yeah, I hope it's the final movie with them. Agreed on a lot of franchises needing to be left alone. Some are cool, but after the 2010s, a lot of yeah, for sure, man. If you really if you really notice, there's a pattern. After 2010, dude, like a lot of shit went downhill, and a lot of shit just wasn't the same, man. You know what I mean? And you could tell from from all the remakes and all the reboots they came out with, after the 2010s and modern times. Yeah, dude, it went to shit. Cheers from Mexico. Shout out to Mexico, man. Appreciate Abraham Barper. You got Mexico up in here, man. That's what's up, man. Shout out to Mexico. Appreciate you guys, man. I don't think Scream 8 will happen, or will it? I hope. I mean, of course, man. It goes back to the whole thing. Scream is a big franchise, man. I mean, like I said, if they continue after this seventh film, I wouldn't be surprised, man. But I feel it should just be left alone. After 7, it should be the ending and let things cool off for a bit, man. And I don't know, maybe do a TV show, maybe wait a few years, make another movie. I don't know, man. But yeah, I mean, but if they do an eighth film, I wouldn't be surprised. But I really hope they don't, man. I don't want these films to get played out. I really want the whole Stumachers alive. That shit would be way too far fetched, and cornball is an idea. Yeah, and like I said, I feel it goes back. It would. Scream is already a gimmicky franchise, but I think that's just too unrealistic. You know what I mean? I think it would be too out of the ordinary. You know what I mean? It will be like you said, far fetched. And yeah, I just think it ruins the whole thing. And like I said, man, to a lot of us, that damn TV killed Stu Macher. And like I said, a lot of those memories are always gonna live within us. You know, watching that for the first time, you know, it's always that first time that sticks to us. But very much so, man. I do agree. The last decade Candy film was just alright. Oh yeah, man, Candyman. I know a lot of those sequels were garbage. Yeah, I never got into the sequels. Even the direct sequel they did like a couple years ago. I wasn't into it, man. To me, I think Tony Todd killed it as Candyman. I think Candyman is definitely a dope ass, a good ass horror villain, horror character. Tony Todd, iconic dude. But like I said, it's one of those that only worked with that first movie. So yeah, I feel yeah, Candyman another perfect example, man. They should just end it with Scream 7 or Scream 8. I think they should end it with Scream 7, man. Make this an ending movie. The mid 2000s. Having it up nicely, but it's suffering down no very good, interesting kills. Oh yeah, for sure. And one of those are one of my favorite things about those Texas Chainsaw Massacre remakes is the sheriff, man. I think his performance, yeah, definitely knocked it out of the ballpark, man. One of the best things about those remakes. Love Scream 2, yeah, Scream 2, amazing sequel, man. Great sequel. I have an old T Stamp Ghostface mask. I bought a. Awesome, man. Yeah, that's awesome, Infinity Dragon. I'm always constantly looking on eBay for different kinds of Ghostface masks. Like I said, I'm not the biggest Ghostface mask collector, but it's always good looking at them. And whenever I find one like for a pretty decent price, cheap price, um, and they're like kind of vintage, I go for it. You know, so I'm always looking at them as well. Yeah, and I've came across a few T stamps as well, man. I actually don't own a T stamp in my collection. I might get one, man. I'm thinking of getting some. You know, the price has to be right. Yeah, yeah, we've talked about it. Randy Meeks, iconic character. I think his character is really much needed. Uh, like I really wish he was a main character. Like you know, like I feel like I said he was a big major key to the movie to the Scream movies. So yeah, it sucks that he had to go, but yeah, man. Sometimes they kill these characters that we love. You know, to kind of bring up the ante up a little bit. You know what I mean? Yeah, very much so, man. Roman Bridger, yeah. That's why, like I said, he stands out to me a lot because he was his own man. He hold his own ground. You know, he hold his own weight. So yeah, man, definitely he did not need a accomplice. You know, I leave it alone. Porn star, yo, what's up, man? I very much agree, man. Very much agree. Yeah, leave it alone, man. You know, end it. Do whatever you got to do with it. You know, don't pull off no gimmicky shit, no goofy shit. Just satisfy. Give us something good. You know, like I said, at the end of the day, people are either gonna love it or hate it. You're not gonna satisfy everyone. You know, some people are gonna hate the shit out of it. Some people are gonna love the shit out of it. But just don't do something out of the ordinary, man. You know, that's just how I look at it. What do you think about those bad? What do you think about those bad Ghostface masks that they tried to pass off as the originals? Abraham, I'm not sure which ones exactly you're talking about, which masks. Hold on, what do you think about those bad Ghostface masks that they tried to pass off as the originals? Uh, I mean, are those masks gonna be in Scream 7? I'm not sure, Abraham Barper. I just know that they came out with a new set of Ghostface masks. I believe since the end of last year, since the end of 2023, they came out with the new Easter Unlimited Ghostface masks, which I still would love to get my hands on. Rumor is they are those are going to be the ones being used ultimately for Scream 7. It could be those. Um but yeah, but that's all I know when it comes to new Scream masks. The new Easter Unlimited ones. Like I said, I'm still definitely looking forward to one. Prices are still kind of crazy out there. People are trying to scam the shit out of people, but hey, they're really not worth that much, man. So I'm just waiting for the right price, and we'll see what happens, man. They got two back to back, the original cast from one and two. Oh, hey, if they do a TV show after seven, they gotta go back to those first two seasons, man. I think though they were pretty decent, with the same cast and everything. I very much agree. So Chippy, I have two. That's very true, Brandon. You know what? And that's the main reason I'm not the biggest collector, because yeah, they're really damn pricey, and a lot of the good ones are the older versions, and a lot of those older versions that they tend to sell for decent prices are usually in shit conditions. And even I've seen some that are expensive, dude. Like too way too much for ghost face masks, and they're like yellowish. They're not in great shape. So yeah, dude, they're expensive. That's why I haven't gotten this big. I have a few different kinds, but yeah. And then the last one I got was the Scream 3, pre 2010 Ghostface mask. I did do an unboxing and stuff like that. I only paid like $25, dude, and I think that was a steal. It's definitely in great shape. Um, and yeah, man, I always wanted one of those early pre 2010 masks, because that's how I remember the Ghostface masks. Being a kid in the 2000s, that's how I remember them. I got so used to the Screen 4 era masks, I forgot how those 2000 ones felt. The ones I grew up with. And so yeah, it feels great to owning one of those, man. To able to get my hands on one of those. So pretty cool, man. For sure. You know what, Chris Schober? If even if they kill Sydney in this one, they hey man, whatever they do, man, they should just end it. Either killing her off. If they kill her off, we know for sure she's not gonna come back. But yeah, I mean, I would. I wouldn't mind for them to kill her off, honestly, just to end it, just to have a bold ending to it. But I don't know, dude. But I just feel they should Sydney after this one. Sydney should be done. Killing her off does not need to happen. Yeah, that's very much so. Like I said, Brandon. By them killing her off could raise up the stakes a little bit, but of course, at the same time, I could kind of see them iffy about it. Of course, she's a final girl, like you mentioned. She's like royalty. She's a queen, and yeah, it was by them killing her off is not necessary, but like I said, at the same time, it could kind of raise the stakes up, bring the momentum up. But like I said, man, whatever the case is, just end the story, finish the story, and call it a day, man. For yeah, man. Wait, yo, even 100 to me, I wouldn't spend over. To me, $50, $100 is too much for a ghost face mask. You know what I mean. And I know those early fantastic faces go for like two, three, 400. So hell yeah, man. I'm not falling for it. As much beautiful masks they are, but I can't do it, man. I can't. Like I said, $50 is too much for a ghost face mask. Oh yeah, man, very much so, man. Like I said, even with these new EU masks, they have that old vanilla scent, but I feel like it's as much as they try to reproduce them, it's a good thing we're getting reproduced EUs. But something about those original ones, man, I don't know. I just don't think we're gonna get them like they were in the 2000s. Oh yeah, very very much so, man. Yeah, the new reproductions don't nothing close to the original. You know what I mean? Absolutely not. And I know Ghostface masks are easily, of course, when they're not taken care of course, when it comes to the Scream movies, the ones they originally used, they used during production. People are sweating in them. They're always not going to be in great condition. But yeah, man, something about those original ones definitely, there's nothing like them, man. I hope they don't bring them back in Scream 7. They also had a cool t-shirt like Shroud. Damn, man, I'm not sure if you're talking about the masks they use for like promotion. I know some they were coming out with some like t-shirts, Ghostface t-shirts, and they had like this certain image, this certain mask. Yeah, if it's that one, yeah, it really does not look nothing like Ghostface. But I'm not too sure. Chris Schober, I did do a live stream about the Halloween TV series a few days ago. Like I said, man, same situation with Scream. Um, it sucks that they're going back to the original movie, man. And like I said, um, we don't need to see that. For me personally, I don't want to see that all over again because they did that with the Blumhouse movies. Go back to the original. Like I said, they're just poking at the original movie, trying to come out with anything they can, man. But I mean, I don't know. I just think Halloween, the TV series, is not gonna be. It's not gonna be as satisfying, honestly. Yeah, that's true, porn star. Yeah, very much so. You couldn't put it any other way, man. When it comes to that, yeah, it's a wrap. You got to wrap it up. Especially when you got kills and ends up in there. But getting back into comic and figure collecting, that's awesome, man. Yeah, yeah. Figure and comic book collecting is always dope. Um, yeah, man, for sure. Yeah, of course. Us collectors, we have our limits too, man. We don't as much as we love these shits, man. Like, yeah, 300 is way too much for a freaking. The most I've spent on any item was probably the Trick or Treat Studios Chucky doll, man. I think that I was like 220. Um, yeah, because that Billy puppet was like 140. Yeah, I've never like 200. I got the Chucky doll. For a mask, I don't think so. Yeah, same here, Brendan. I'm happy with my Trick or Treat Studios masks. I know a lot of collectors are really and salute to those collectors who are really serious about it, serious about their collection. They get really high quality piece ends, um, high quality masks. But a collector like me, man, I'm happy with the Trick or Treat mass produced mask. Honestly, and like I said, man, us collectors also have our limits, have our budget. So yeah, man, that's how I look at it as well. The stuntman who played Freddy Krueger in the original, in the first Scream. Awesome, man. That's an awesome fact. I actually did not know that one. Um, Appreciate the fun fact, Infinity Dragon. I did not know that one. So yeah, the stuntman who played Freddy in the original Nightmare played Ghostface in the first Scream. Interesting, man. Of course, Wes Craven always kept his circle close, man. You know what I mean? Which scene Summer Scream is calling, but the final half of the movie, Craven preferred Dane Forwell. Craven, before he passed out, that he preferred. Okay, so is Dane Forwell the stuntman for Freddy in the original Nightmare? I know that's something they do. Like for example, even with Michael Myers, certain like it's not just one actor who plays them throughout the whole, like not just one stuntman who play them. You know, during the whole movie. I know different people do take on the costume and the mask, but yeah, man, Halloween you just need to let alone. They named it. Hashtag David Gordon Green ruined Halloween. True, man. And you know what, porn star? I remember when they first announced the title, Halloween Kills and Ends. First thing that came to mind, oh yeah, this is a end. This is a final. They're ending it, you know? And like I said, they should have left it at that, man. Just wait a couple more years, man. They should have waited a couple more years. But no, man. We're getting a TV show now. It's a damn shame. Rumor has it Five Nights at Freddy's might not come to Halloween Horror Nights. Sucks, man. It sucks. I know. I don't even because I know they had it last. Well, they didn't have a maze last year, but they had like the whole display animatronics. I'm not sure if this year they were gonna do a maze, but yeah, man, I can't wait to see what they got for us in store this year. I hope Laurie Strode is not in the new Halloween TV series. I really hope not, man. Like I said, I know they're going back to the original. Does that mean Jamie Lee Curtis is returning? I really hope not. Like I said, her character should have been done a long time ago. Um, and like I mentioned, I would be even more disappointed if they remake the character, if they bring a new actress in to play Laurie Strode. I'll be disappointed as well. Um, yeah, I got no clue, man. I got no clue what they're doing. Um, I think they're still in early stages, but I really hope not, man. I really hope. I really hope they're done with Laurie Strode. Oh yeah, very much so, very much so. Brandon, yeah, 28 from the new ones. 2018 wasn't even that great, but it was solid enough to. It was solid enough, okay, and compared to Kills and Ends, yeah, man. And I always say this. I personally rather watch the Rob Zombie movies for shits and giggles over the Blumhouse movies because I have that personal connection with them. But other than that, dude, yeah, I can't stand the Blumhouse ones, dude. They're not watchable at all for me. I haven't rewatched them since I've seen them. Yeah, I don't plan on revisiting them anytime soon. Yeah, I do very much agree because I've only rewatched them. 2018 is the one I've watched the most, but I feel every time I rewatch 2018, I dislike it more. Kills and Ends, I rewatched like once or twice. Once I got the Blu-ray, so once I've seen it for the first time. Um, and yeah, dude, they're just the more you watch them, the more painful they are to get through. So that's why I don't even trip on those films, man. Like I said, I'd rather pop in Rob Zombie's shitty Halloween 2 or something. That's just what I think. Yeah, I can't care about it. I can't care about 2018 either, man. I know it's a really highly praised movie. A lot of people, a lot of people's favorite behind the original, but it's not all that. It's not all that. Even the first time watching it in theaters, I'm like, what the hell? It's not all that. Oh hell yeah! Oh yeah, dude. Because at least I know Halloween Resurrection is a terrible film, but at least that kinds of, at least Resurrection gives us a time capsule, or I wouldn't say a time capsule, but a look at the 2000s. You know, at least that's the only good thing of Halloween Resurrection. You know, we get to take a look at the 2000s. It gives us 2000 vibes, really much so. Very true, man. Very true. We should have got deleted. I'm still waiting on those. I know they had a whole different alternate ending for 2018. I don't think we're ever gonna get them because we didn't even get them with the Blu-ray or none of the Blu-ray releases. But either way, no matter how many deleted scenes they got, no matter what kind of alternate endings you got, it's not gonna change the fact of how good the movie was. It still was a okay movie. It wasn't nothing great, you know. But yeah, I have heard there's a lot of stuff they were showing the trailers that never made it to the final cut. Like I said, I would still like to see it, the alternate ending, for 2018. But I don't think it'll change much. Yeah, I heard the alternate ending was better than the original one, than the theatrical ending. But who knows, man? I love so much the Blumhouse. That's good, Abraham. Yeah, if you love the 2018 movies, the Blumhouse movies, that's great. You know. Yeah, of course, man. Wes Craven's a legend. Rest in peace, man. He's very much needed in this time, if you ask me. I'm not super into Scream. Oh yeah, man, for sure. An autograph, yeah, will be dope. Most definitely. Kills only has. Damn about that comedy. Yeah, man. Oh yeah, and that's what ruined the Kills for me. The whole commentary bullshit. Yeah, I can't, dude. I can't. Like I said, I'd rather watch Scout Taylor Compton scream out of her lungs, dude, the whole freaking movie, than that stupid ass commentary, dude. The humor commentary. A grown man getting bullied by teenagers. Hey man, that just goes to show you, man. Where the hell they were, man. They had no idea what they were gonna do, you know. But unfortunately, it is what it is, man. You know, it's terrible. I can't stand that. I really can't stand it. That's funny. But yeah, guys. I mean, that's gonna be pretty much it for today's live stream. I've been on here for an hour and 10 minutes, 8 minutes. But yeah, man. I mean, that's gonna be pretty much it, man. It was great talking to you guys. Appreciate you guys always tuning in, man. Like I said, I decided to hit you guys with a double feature today. I did give you guys my reaction, my thoughts on what's it called, on the first Omen, the prequel. So yeah, go check that out if you haven't. But like I said, man, this whole Scream situation, um, not really as surprising, you know. But we're gonna have to see what happens, man. Like I said, they're still in early stages. It's officially confirmed. Neve Campbell's returning, but like I said, man, it's a good thing. But at the same time, it could be kind of a iffy thing. But that's gonna be pretty much it. You guys appreciate all of you guys tuning in. Shout out to all of you guys. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week, man. Like I said, I do have a few more videos coming up. Stay tuned for that. Shout out to all of you guys, man. Hope you have a great rest of your night. You guys take it easy out there. It's the Michael Myers signing out. Peace out.